Hallo zusammen und willkommen zurück bei Magpie Movies mit mir, Jordi Paul. Heute schauen wir uns meine liebsten fremdsprachigen Filme an. Alright everyone, Jordi Paul here. Welcome back to Magpie Movies. It has been a while since my last video. Obviously, the live stream was the last one on Sunday. So I hope if you watched that with me, Pete and James from Movie Bug, that you enjoyed that. And if you watched it, thanks very much. Today's intro, it was in German. Yeah, obviously, yeah. So, excuse me more. I thought I'll do a bit of a different intro at the beginning. Because this video is all around my favourite foreign language films. Yeah, so let's do something different. I know there's a lot of people out there who aren't too keen on watching movies because they're not in English. Excuse me. But I think if you're going to not include watching films because they've got subtitles, then in my opinion you're missing out on a lot of movies. And just open your horizons, open your mind and welcome in different filmmaking in different languages. That's just my opinion. So anyway, before we get into the video, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so whenever I do a new video, you'll be first to know. And of course, if you are new to the channel, I do a live stream every Sunday. But just a heads up, there's going to be no live stream this Sunday. I'm having a week off basically. Next week is Queen's Jubilee, so I'm off with the kids. Apart from Tuesday when I'm working, but the rest of the week I'm off. But yes, anyway. I am dilly-dallying around. Let's crack on with some foreign language movies that I enjoy. Okay, so the foreign languages, I've got like a pile of movies to my right. Japanese, Korean, Norwegian, French, Spanish, Mayan. Yeah, there's loads of different languages in here and all films that I enjoy. So yeah, I'm just going to crack on. Let's just get into it. So first up is a French film from, I can't even read what year it is. This is going to be embarrassing. 1997. Yes, it is Taxi. Yeah, film that I stumbled onto. I think it was early 2000s or so. Thoroughly enjoyed this. This did get a remake, American remake with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah. I could be wrong. Which is rubbish. This is the original French one. It's very good, very enjoyable, very funny, and the lead character in it who drives a taxi is very, very funny. And because of that, they then released the sequel, which is funny enough called Taxi 2. Yeah, again, thoroughly enjoyed it. Very, very good. These are two recommendations. If you haven't seen the original Taxi movies, then please do get involved with them. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. So because on the back of that, they then released, these films I haven't seen as yet. They released Taxi 3, Taxi 4. Both of them, all four of these are on DVD. I haven't watched these two as of yet. Need to get time to watch them. But these two recommended. These two are to watch, so I can't recommend these ones at the moment. But yeah, same same characters in cast throughout, especially the main character and the police officer he works with. So yeah, so my first recommendations are Taxi and Taxi 2. French language. Next one. Now, it's going to be hard to show this one. So, it's from the Clint Eastwood 20 film collection. So within this film, this box set even, if I find it, which is in volume number 2, is a film which is one of my personal favourites. So, if you can see, that there is the counterpart to it. But the film I'm talking about is Letters from Hiroshima. So Flags of Our Fathers focuses on the Americans landing on Hiroshima during the Pacific conflict during World War II. And that's from the American perspective, landing on there. And this is from the Japanese point of view, who are on Hiroshima, camped up in the mountains and defending it from the American forces. It's a very, very good film. Again, all in Japanese. It's a World War II film. It's nice after you've watched Flags of Our Fathers to give it a watch because it is a good movie and another one that I recommend. Next, we have from my big box collection from Arrow Video. It's Battle Royale. Yeah, so within this set, if I quickly show you, oh, he says, we have Battle Royale, the original theatrical cut. Now this is my 4K box set. Battle Royale again, I think it was early 2000s. I went into HMV in Newcastle Granger Street, Northumberland Street, sorry, when it was still there. It's not there, Sports Direct now, but that's by the by. And I watched the original Battle Royale on DVD. I then upgraded it to Blu-ray, and then I've upgraded to 4K. The Requiem is not as good, because during the filming of the second one, the director of the original Battle Royale passed away, so his son took over filming the rest of Battle Royale Requiem. But yes, Battle Royale, very good film. Every time I see people going on about Hunger Games, this is basically the origin story of Hunger Games. Hunger Games is based on Battle Royale. So never mind Hunger Games, go back, watch the best. Very good. It's full screen as well from a 4K perspective, and the picture is a great improvement. So, and from an Arrow perspective, this did not need a replacement disc, which is always quite good because I know they're having problems at the moment. But yes, that there is Battle Royale. Next up is a film I didn't see at the cinema, a film I didn't see when it came out. I just kept putting it off. Eventually watched it and then decided to buy it, and that was Parasite. Yeah, very, very good film. Bong Joon-ho did a great job with this, and the 4K picture on this, not the black and white one, but the colour one, is very good. There's a particular scene where the family are coming out of the house and they're going down a back alley with lampposts, and that's all lit up the street. It just shows great detail. It's very good. Again, winner of 4 Oscars, winner of 2 BAFTAs. If you haven't seen Parasite because it's foreign language, then give it a go. You never know, you might be quietly surprised. It's humour, it's out there, it's got twists in it, and it's very good. So 100% is Parasite for you to give a watch to. Next up is another. Majority of these foreign films, I just read them online or see trailers for them, and I thought, you know what, I'll give them a go. And this is another prime example of that. Hadn't heard of this before, and that is the Norwegian Troll Hunter. Yeah, a Blair Witch point of view, found footage kind of movie, all about a group of students who find a guy in a caravan site who hunts trolls, think it's a load of rubbish, follow him, find he does, and then things happen from there. But no, very good film. I thoroughly enjoy this, and to be honest, I need to give it a rewatch soon. I've only seen it twice, and that's a while back. So this lovely lenticular sleeve as well. So that's Troll Hunter, 100% again. Give it recommendation for me to give it a watch. On the Norwegian theme again is another film. I keep saying stumbled across. Another film that I thoroughly enjoyed, stumbled across. It's got a sequel called The Quake. It's not a sequel. It's kind of the same actors and directors and all that, called The Quake. And then they've got a new one called The Burning Sea, whichever you want to see. This is the first one, 2015, and is The Wave. For this being a Norwegian film, and everyone will probably think, unless it's like America, the special effects will be crap. Excuse me, very good. It's just basically about this guy here who's a seismologist or job, whatever he is. What is he? A scientist. As one man prepares to move from his hometown with his family. You can't even record a video without robbing you. Bloody Robber Fett. Yeah, so as one man prepares to move from his hometown with his family, his worst nightmare about to come true. The siren goes off. Disaster is inevitable. With less than 10 minutes to react, it becomes a race against time in order to save as many people as possible, including his own family, because a tsunami comes through all the fjords in Norway. So yes, that's The Wave. Give it a watch. Very good. Next one. Now I've included this, but I don't know. But it is technically still in a foreign language. It's in Aramaic, Latin, and Hebrew. Film I went to see at the cinema. I took my girlfriend at the time to see it, and she didn't realise it was subtitled, so it was a bit of a shock. And that is The Passion of the Christ. Another film I think is excellent. I recently watched this, I think, just before Christmas or just after Christmas, because I hadn't seen it in a while. Oh my God, it's so good. Mel Gibson did a great job with this. I can tell why he got banned in all the kind of Israeli countries and such like, because of the depiction of Christ getting crucified and the build up to it, etc. But honestly, if you haven't seen The Passion of the Christ, give it a watch. It's very good. You don't. It's not. It doesn't kind of shove Catholicism or Christian down your throat or the church down your throat. It's just basically using the Bible as a basis for a movie. So yeah, there you go. It's Passion of the Christ. Next one, one of my favourite Spanish movies, which again recently last year got an upgrade onto the Arrow collection, and that's Rec. Great perspective. It's more from, basically, if you don't know the story yet, I think she's called Angela, is she? I could be wrong. Or Angela, I don't know, I can't remember. But she follows a Spanish fire crew through the out of hours, between like, I don't know, 10 till 6 in the morning time out of hours through Spain. They get a call that a lady in a block of apartments has gone ill. They go in and the camera crew follows them like a documentary, and then all hell breaks loose, etc. And then they get, the block of flats get shut down by a biohazard, and this is all about what happens behind the biohazard screens. Very good. Another first handheld perspective, Blair Witch style found footage, quite like Troll Hunter. So that's Rec. I think a lot of people have probably heard of this, and if you've already watched it, you'll know why it's so good. But yeah, the remake it got is Quarantine in America. Not as good. It was all right. It's not as bad as Taxi's remake, but no, Quarantine's all right. But Rec is the best one. So there you go, Rec. Next is another Korean film that, for some reason, this is one I put off, and then I watched it, and it's on for like 2.5 hours, and it is absolutely brilliant. And that is I Saw the Devil. Absolutely amazing. You got the guy out of All Guy, you got the guy out of G.I. Joe. I think he plays Shadowstorm. Is it Shadowstorm? Can't remember. But yeah, I Saw the Devil. This guy kills this guy's fiance. He's a detective, and he goes looking for him. That's basically it. And I don't want to go into more in detail than that because it'll spoil it. But I Saw the Devil is such a good film. It's gripping, psychological, kind of Seven-ish kind of feeling to it. Very good. Again, just because subtitles, if you don't like subtitles, you're missing out on this, because this is absolutely epic. Good film. This was always going to crop up, wasn't it? Train to Busan. Not going to say much about that. Brilliant film. I enjoyed Peninsula as well, but I prefer this one to Peninsula. A lot of people didn't like Peninsula. I did. I bought the Blu-ray, sold it, but imported the 4K. But Train to Busan is the definitive one. And the Soul Station, the animated prequel, and obviously as well. But of all the trilogy, this is the best one. If you haven't seen it, please do. This is the film that everybody should watch. Then we've got a couple of Cine Asia ones. Actually, I'll go with this one first. I've reviewed this. Again, it's a great film. It's a war film. Came out just, I think, as COVID hit. And that's The 800, about the Japanese-Chinese war and how some of the Chinese stayed in this factory, gave the impression there were 800 of them when there were only 550 of them or so, and held off the Japanese troops for as far as they can, for as long as they can even. Excellent epic. Again, another 2 hour and a bit movie. Very good. For a Blu-ray as well, the picture quality in this is fantastic. I watched it on my 4K telly as well as up here on the Blu-ray player. It's a really, really good quality disc. So on the back of that, because it came from the Cine Asia family, I picked up The Swordsman, and this was epic as well. So this focuses around this guy here, who was the Emperor's, now I haven't seen this in a while, so bear with me, who was the Emperor's guard or something. The Emperor gets overthrown, he gets cut or gets shrapnel in his eye from a sword fight. He's slowly losing his sight, but then I think his daughter's kidnapped and he has to go after them. And it's also got Joe Taslim, who we all know. Is it Joe Taslim? Yep, Joe Taslim in it, who's Sub-Zero in the new Mortal Kombat movie. It's not all fights and sword fights as such, but honestly, if you like your sword fights and if you like Cine Asia and you like Korean films, The Swordsman, give it a watch. Amazing. We have 2 to go. Again, another one, a bit like Rec. When it comes to foreign language movies, you've got to bring in. This one is in Indonesian. The Raid. Yeah, you know, very similar premise as Dread with Carl Urban. All about getting to the top, but there's a drug baron, and it's all martial arts and hell and guns and everything involved in it. You cannot go wrong with this. This film is superb. The second one's all right, but my preference is always going to be the first one, and I love the lenticular on that as well. So that is The Raid. We come to our final one. So thanks for sticking with me so far, and I hope from the ones that you've seen so far, it gives you a chance to get into more foreign films, more subtitle films, open your mind, open your perspective, you know, get involved more in cinema, not just English language titles. Stop going on, Paul, you're talking shit. Final one, a bit like Passion of the Christ. This one is also directed by Mel Gibson, and a bit like Passion of the Christ, this is also using a language which is no longer used. This is using Mayan language. It's a film, again, that I hadn't seen until a couple of years ago, but it's always been on my to-watch list, and that is Apocalypto. It takes a while to get going, but once you're in it, Jesus, it's great. There's gruesome in it, there's action in it, there's chases in it, there's fight scenes in it, there's you building a relation and getting to know the main characters in it. It's just basically about a guy who's taken away from his family to go to the Central Mayan place to be sacrificed for crops and stuff like that, and then he escapes and has to go back to that's basically all around that. It's just all that, but it's a kind of a coming of age in Mayan language kind of area in South America during the big Mayan culture, which of course now doesn't exist. But yeah, that's Apocalypto. If you haven't seen this one, again, highly recommend it, as I do with all of those. That's it. So that is the last of my foreign language film recommendations. And we're done. So thank you once again for sticking with me so long. Apologies, this is a longer video than ages. I have been planning to record this the last couple of weeks. I've just never got around to it or had the time to do it. Something always crops up in life, as it always does. But anyway, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. If there's any foreign films that you recommend to me, drop them in the comments below. I really want to watch some more foreign films, especially if they're like I Saw the Devil, Apocalypto, that kind of thing. Not so much down the Raid, the Seven Samurai kind of situation and fights. I want a more kind of dramatic, pull you in kind of gruesome kind of horror. You know, there's other ones which I could have put in there, like The Ring, The Grudge, those kind of things. But from my personal perspective, I like the more kind of like, there's one called Burning Fire that I want to see, and there's a one, like I said, The Burning Sea that I would like to see. But yeah, so there you go. This is Geordie Paul, last surviving member of Magpie Movies, saying, if he gets it right, what we do in life echoes in eternity. Yes, got it right. Right, see you soon. Thank you very much for watching. See you in my next video.